Ladies and gentlemen, I'm LêHoàngDiệpThảo, co-founder and co-owner Trung Nguyên Group. I create Trung Nguyên Group from zero foundation, and we have blessed Trung Nguyên its current position as the #1 Vietnamese coffee brand. It's my pleasure to share with you today the story of Trung Nguyên. As we all know, coffee is now a global product with the values only second to oil. So speaking about the coffee seems to be an almost impossible task. In this brief talk, I will mainly focus on local perspective. I'm presenting an amazing story about Vietnam, the world's second largest coffee exporter. And then I will analyze the strategy that our company has been using to win our domestic market and to expand to our global foundation. For me, coffee is all about history and imagination. It is historical because in Vietnam, coffee is the fusion between the West and the East, the central and the peripheries, the rural highlands and the cosmopolitan cities. The history of coffee in Vietnam has always shown how Vietnamese people locate themselves in the world and how they choose their lifestyle between the influence in the national, regional, and the global values. In our branding process, we create our strategy by drawing from the symbol, meanings, and fantasies that Vietnamese people have to associate with coffee. This success in our brand, I dare say, lies our capacity to link authenticity of Vietnamese coffee culture with the cosmopolitan flavor of globalization. At Trung Nguyên, we often describe the history of coffee in our country by referring the three waves of Vietnamese coffee. The first wave happened at the colonial contact with the French more than 100 years ago. The French introduced the bittersweet flavor of coffee to Vietnam. They have also discovered Vietnamese Central Highland, to be a perfect location of coffee plantation. Vietnamese coffee is famous for the rich flavor enhanced by the delicious aroma and thick consistencies. The second wave was happened after the end of Vietnam War since 1975 to 1990s. Whereas in the first wave, coffee is mainly the foreigner and upper class people. It now became to the parts of the everyday life. In this period, Vietnamese people developed their own way of drinking coffee. Only in Vietnam that we can enjoy unforgettable flavor of cà phê sữa đá. This is classic drink combined with the bitter taste of Robusta with the creamy texture of the condensed milk. And only in Vietnam that people drink coffee with eggs, a creative invention to cook up with the lack of milk. Drinking coffee in Vietnam also means that we need a master of art in waiting. When your cup of coffee is slowly dripping down with the kind of future available only in our country. In this period, Vietnam also rose up to be the top coffee exporter, creating a stable and independent supply for us later on. The third wave The third wave of Vietnamese coffee started in 1996 with the established our Trung Nguyên brand. Trung Nguyên has enabled two critical changes. First, Trung Nguyên has been the first and the largest coffee company in Vietnam to produce the standardized coffee product to serve the emerging middle class. As you might already know, the economic reform in Vietnam in 1986 soon led to the rapid increasing household income and the rise of the new market. In this context, the new middle class became our key customer. In 1998, we opened the first cafe in Ho Chi Minh City, the leading metropolis city in Vietnam. Within a year, Trung Nguyên opened more than 500 cafes in this city. And the novelties of our coffee shop is upscale appearance, and the quality of our product quickly gains special interest among the city middle class, especially office worker and college students. Second, Trung Nguyên has not only changed the game of the coffee production, but more important, it has reinvented the coffee culture in Vietnam. In many parts in Vietnam today, drinking coffee has become almost the same as drinking Trung Nguyên product. In many parts in the world, Trung Nguyên has also become a hallmark of Vietnamese brands, being the pioneer of the national business after the reform. So, what is the core of our success? For the domestic market, at the heart of our strategy to provide our customer with the three things: familiarity, convenience, and the best flavor. We are serve millions of our Vietnamese customers with the quality of coffee enriched by historical value and the cultural price. Our focus on the national authenticity has proven to be our best strategy. Let's consider for the sample of our famous instant coffee brand, G7. After my trip in Germany in 2001, I realized the value of the instant coffee market, and we started our first instant coffee product. I knew this task would require a strong marketing campaign to compete against Nescafe, the global brand with the nearly 60% market share at that time. Many marketing consultancies refused to help us, saying that big fish, good is more fish. But I ignored their advice to create in-house marketing plans. In 2003, we invited 20,000 people in the blind test of downtown Ho Chi Minh City. The result was amazing. 89% choose G7 over the Nescafe. At that moment, we know that we could launch my brands to promote the authentic flavor of Vietnamese coffee, significantly different from the global brands. Our instant coffee is serious drinkers who demand a great cup of coffee in the short term. Between 2003 and 2011, G7 quickly dominates the domestic market and now still maintain in the largest share in Vietnam. Again, The focus on the Vietnamese quality of our coffee has helped us to promote the new product successfully. In the international market, national authenticity continues to be our priority. The trick of create the global look without losing our connection with the unique flavor of Vietnamese coffee. Being a small player in the international world, we target the niche market of the Asian community. We stick to the cultural experience of the Vietnamese coffee, while seeking to connect our brand with the rise of Asian values. Our biggest international is now China, where G7, our instant coffee, among the best-selling product in Alibaba. And in 2016, seeing the global potential of Vietnamese coffee, I create our new brand, King Coffee, that is directly target international customer. With King Coffee, we develop a wide range of products to create what we call a world of coffee and coffee of the world. The brands introduce the flavor Vietnamese coffee to the global friendly packaging. We tax our price to offering many premium products, such as traditional Vietnamese and Southeast Asia blends, whole beans, capsule in various flavors, loved by international customers. Currently, we have distributed our product to the 60 international market with a focus in the Asian countries. We have also introduced our product, the Vietnamese community in the US, and plan to turn this community into our entry to this big market. My vision with the King Coffee is to further globalize the Vietnamese coffee industry by adding more value and current position to the raw bean exporter. Our goal to sell Vietnamese coffee as a cultural experience and in which our national price with the met with global values. Our company committed to contribute back to the local community. I was born and grew up in the Central Highland. Coffee is my first and endless love. As a child, the rich smell of coffee in my hair turned me to the popular student in the school. I have extensive engagement with the coffee farmer throughout my life. The more I understand the perspective of Vietnamese coffee farmer, the more I understand their low position in the coffee world. Constant price changes and the cheap value and the raw material rate, the poor living condition in many coffee community in our country. I always wonder why a kilogram of raw material only 20 cents, but small cup of coffee is $5. And what can we do about this? We are now working on many community projects support with the farmer life. Our major CSR project entitled Happy Farmer. This is help farmer to produce coffee beans with the better quality. It also promotes sustainable farming methods on the local community. We team up with the agriculture consultant from Israel to create a training program that educate farmers about the water, recycling, and waste management. We are also the leader of annual Vietnamese Coffee Festival in Central Highland, where we celebrate the blooming of coffee flower and acknowledge the value of farming labor. We are also provincial coffee tour to connect the coffee plantation with the growing tourism industry in Vietnam. Our commitment to the local community, so our focus has not been the bottom line alone, but on making sure that we create the win-win situation with the farmers, customer, distributor, and the national industry as a whole. We understand that being the leading coffee brand in a small country, we need collective action with the winning of global market and with national interest, the core of our business success. Yes, we all know that coffee is never a lifeless commodity. Coffee is all about history, imagination, inspiration, and the responsibility. And the future of the coffee brands, we would say the never disconnect from the history and the contribution is homeland. Thanks for the listening. Before I end my talks, please watch with me with the short video about our new international brand, King Coffee.
The world's second largest coffee producing country, Vietnam, prides itself for its high-quality Robusta coffee beans that have been cultivated by the French since 1857 in Bon Mae Tot. Today, coffee is a part of Vietnam's culture, so close to the hearts of the people that it creates friendship generation after generation. Handpicked by the farmers, only the best coffee beans are selected to go into each cup of coffee. The secret recipe from the Orient, combined with state-of-the-art technology, promises a taste experience you'll never forget. King Coffee, the premium Vietnamese coffee by Trung Nguyên International, promises to continue this success by sharing its quality coffee to over 60 countries all over the world. This is the story of Vietnam, our people, and the passion to continue sharing our love for coffee to the world. King Coffee, global coffee experience.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lee. Thank you so much, Ms. Lee. That's a really fascinating look into a coffee culture that I have never had a chance to visit. Thank you so much. Yes. And how important it is to value the actual traditions that exist in country. It's one of the things that I think here in the North American market, we lose sight of.